Philip Rivers is going to work out for the Indianapolis Colts today.
There, you look good. You look like you're ready to play.
What do you say, Dan?
Could you play right now?
Oh yeah, I'm a little heavier than I was, but I could get through a game. Now I may need a wheelchair the next morning, but oh yeah, I could still play a little bit.
Okay. Did you need to announce? Like, did you retire twice?
No, yeah, I don't know, maybe yeah. The reason there was a little bit of a wait is I honestly wasn't. There were a couple November, Decembers there in 2021, 2022 where I was staying ready. I threw on shoulder pads a few times and a helmet and was throwing in the yard and working just in case. And there were a few things that kind of got close.
And we all thought Dusty Rhodes was the American dream, but little did we know it was Philip Rivers, the 44-year-old granddad with 10 kids, signing with the Indianapolis Colts this week.
It being so long, but it also is a game I've played a long time and stayed in over the last 5 years. And I know high school ball is different, but staying involved in the game. And I've watched the Colts and the Chargers every Sunday, about every snap, and I watch about every game there is. And I know that's not NFL playing quarterback. I know that's a far stretch from that, but it's not like I just kind of shut football down and I'm trying to pick it back up. I've been very into it since I've been gone. But yeah, no, it is a physical game and it's fast and dudes are big and fast, just like they were. And so I'm just take it a day at a time, and I do feel good. There's something about being back in this building that feels right. And I'm just thankful and like I said, really just taking it one meeting at a time, one lift at a time, and really embracing it and going after it.
Who's probably going to be slinging some rockets on the field, and we all got to root for this.
No Zoom, let's go. Phil, first of all, welcome back to Indy.
He ranks 7th all time in passing yards, 6th in passing touchdowns. And this is the American dream. You cannot root for a quarterback who has kids older than some of the players he's playing with.
Philip Rivers in the building with the Colts. What do you think?
There's nothing better when a borderline 40 or a 40-year-old comes out of retirement off the couch and sling the ball for your team. It's incredible. It's an amazing story. The Colts are not going to win the Super Bowl. They probably won't make the playoffs, but at the end of the day, we're going to have a great time with this. And I absolutely love Philip Rivers with the flipping, the dadgummits, all the things. I love it. If you're a Colts fan, sit back and enjoy it because at the end of the day, we're not making the playoffs and we're not going to the Super Bowl, but we're still going to have fun.
Dude's got a bunch of kids too. I love that everybody's going to be able to tune in now and watch Philip Rivers. Like, we're just going to get to enjoy the Philip Rivers we've always known, we've always loved. We know he's 44 years old. He hadn't been in the game for a while, but just the whole sound wave he was making on him potentially being with the Colts again, everybody's excited just to watch this man have a great time, talk a little noise, and have fun throwing the football.
That wizard genius psychopath, Shane Steichen, had this card in his back pocket. Philip Rivers answers the phone for freaking no one, and then he answers it for Shane in the perfect, exact moment. I love this. Will, I will ask you, out of
that's why you're going to get his best. That's why you're going to get his best, because there is, like, we can all, like, we hope he sets the world on fire, but he knows getting that phone call, flying to Indianapolis, like, there is really no expectation. He just gets to go out there and sling it. And he's going to be operating as well as he ever has, just because there is no expectation. Just go out there and have fun.
He also has young children, too, ranging from, like, 2002 to 2020 in birth years. And you're looking at a quarterback who has dropped back over 9,000 times in the National Football League and has been sacked 485 times, but still completing on an adjusted completion rate 75.4% of his passes. This is a historic quarterback with a career that a lot of people have forgotten about.
Well, so he had his workout last night, and my understanding is he threw it pretty well. But like you said, like I think you sort of expect that. I remember having this conversation with Joe Flacco earlier this year, and he said to me, he's like, I think I'm going to be able to throw at an NFL level until I'm 50. He's like, I don't think my arm strength's going away. And I think anybody, like even like a suburban dad like me, like I can go out and throw the football in the backyard. I can't run like I used to, but I can go out and throw the ball to my kids, you know? So I think that's one of the, like that's one of those things where it's like, yes, he can still throw the ball. He's been coaching high school football, so he's been around it, coaching his son down there in Alabama. And, he has been working out and training NFL and college quarterbacks over the last few years. So he's stayed connected. He's stayed working. He's still throwing. That's not the question. The question is, can he still move around enough to protect himself? Has he been doing the work to keep himself in the shape the shape he needs to be in to do that? And then I think the big question is how are you going to take a hit? That's the thing is like, I don't think anybody can project, what's going to happen if he were out there on Sunday and, Byron Murphy, the 3 technique from Seattle, gets through the line and buries him. Like, is he going to be able to get up from that,
Because there's a lot of aura oozing from Phillip Rivers all the way back from college. He had 51 career starts, consecutive starts. One of the biggest Ironmen in college football at the time. Over 13,000 passing yards at that time, 5th all-time ACC, 95 career touchdown passes, 17 comeback wins. The dude's captain comeback, which is something you'll see in his NFL career. And then also started 4 straight bowl games and was never injured in college. The dude was gritty. The dude was tough. You saw it on the field, and you saw it in the NFL.
The world needs more grandfathers playing professional football. The NFL, I know the NFL is popular, but we've never seen grandpas play before. And I think that would be really exciting to see some grandfathers get out there and throw it around. I guess my other thought is, how is he a grandpa already? I mean, that was my other thing is like, wow. I'm doing the math on that one, and it's just funny.
When you're seeing him jaw it with defensive linemen between plays, cutting up jokes, being feisty, but the man never said a cuss word the whole time. He gets drafted in the 1st round, but many forget about the draft controversy, him, Eli Manning, and the Giants, and how that all ended up. That gets swept under the rug here in 2025.
Hi, I'm Phillip Rivers, quarterback from NC State. I think sometimes I have a different mentality from most quarterbacks. I'm not one that's quick to slide or get out of bounds, which I know I better get used to. I think I'm a guy that kind of likes to make plays on the run. It's not necessarily the 5-step drop and throw the ball. Sometimes things aren't going to go like you want them to, and I feel like I have that little knack able to make a play when things kind of break down. I think my throwing motion is a little different than most. Me and my dad kind of thought of maybe that he was my high school coach, and our kind of theory on the throwing motion was I was throwing a big ball ever since I was 3 or 4 years old, and so I kind of had to push it and throw it sidearm to be able to throw it. Gradually, the talk negatively about it has decreased, and I just don't think it's a problem. Balls aren't being batted down, and I've been accurate for the most part. To me, if it's not broke, I hope we don't have to fix it.
It's like story upon story here with Phillip Rivers. 240 straight starts at quarterback with one franchise. Like one of the biggest Iron Man streaks of all time. Averaged 4,300 passing yards in 2008 to 2017. Like that is elite. That is elite consistency. Led the NFL with a 65.1% completion rate under pressure in 2013. Just a tough quarterback that's still efficient and gets it done. He had 11 seasons with 25-plus touchdowns.
2-year-old quarterback. Can a 44-year-old who hasn't played in 5 years come back and play? Phillip Rivers?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The Colts are supposed to work him out.
That's none of my business, man. I'm trying to get ready for the Dolphins.
Career 4th quarter passer rating of over 98. Captain comeback. Like one of the most efficient, diehard, ice water vein to quarterbacks you'll ever see. He has more pass completions than Dan Marino. But really, when you think about it, he's never won a Super Bowl either. Is he the redneck Dan Marino?
I mean, first I was just in disbelief. Then I kind of went to surprised. Then I kind of went to a little bit concerned about Phillips' well-being against the Seahawks. And then I kind of went into this is fascinating to see. It also kind of told me that the injury to Riley Leonard may be a little worse than we've heard. But when it comes to Shane and Phillip, I mean, they're tight, and I'm sure they speak often together. When it comes to X's and O's, they can basically finish each other's sentences. So when it comes to the offense, Phillip can walk in today and run the offense. And from what I've heard even from people at the Colts, like the same offense he's running in high school is the Colts offense. Probably same terminology. So like I said, he can run it today. And I bet throwing the ball, he probably throws it relatively well still. At least he's been on a practice field throwing to high school receivers, throwing drills. So I bet his arm's relatively loose. Obviously, when you get older, you lose a step. But there's also that your quick twitch decision-making isn't quite what it was. And it could just be milliseconds. So these are the things it's going to be a challenge. But from a fan standpoint, it's fascinating. And from the Colts standpoint, look, they're a playoff team that needs a quarterback, and there's few options available, certainly after the trade deadline. So as long as Phillip is okay with the physical risk that could come along with this, why not give it a chance? And Phillip always has those competitive juices to compete and play and be a part of a team. So honestly, this is must-see TV for this weekend. I see no reason why he wouldn't even play this weekend. I don't know what one more week is going to give him athletically or physically. Like mentally, it's probably all still there. I wouldn't be surprised to see him on the field this Sunday.
Slinging rockets, being effective, being efficient. You see all the other quarterbacks, but then there's Philip Rivers. You see all the other quarterbacks, they get their shine. And then there's Dan Marino. And then he met his wife in middle school. Got 10 kids out of her. But the aura doesn't stop there. He commuted back and forth to Chargers practice. 2 hours each way. Did not move closer. Just decided to commute. Home games. Did not sleep in the hotel. Just chose to sleep in his own bed. He does his own social media, but he ignores it most of the time. He speaks fluent Spanish. That is another thing. This is a dude that kept his flip phone as long as possible. He writes handwritten notes. He doesn't text. He just gives you a handwritten note. That is what Philip Rivers does. He does not do film study on an iPad. He'd rather look at the playbook, watch it on the projector. And that is something that's not made up about him.
We know we got our work cut out for us tonight, but we're going to get out there and get after it.
He has 10 children, like we said, 4 sons, 6 daughters. Oldest was born in 2002. Older than some of the players he's going to be playing with on the Colts. Youngest child was born in 2020. And you're looking at this, and you can't tell me this is not the American dream, as they have a mega large SUV during that time where they would just drive the whole family to the game to watch their dad play. They didn't fly. They were very economical. That's one thing you can say. This is a very plain dude. In a day and age where everybody's got to have their phone out with their apps, this is a dude that doesn't fly much. He'll drive the SUV. He will commute. He will keep everything plain. This is what you call a family man with a lot of gusto. This is a man that doesn't cuss, but will talk shit on the field. Like, that is a rare sighting. An adult that will talk his shit, but you'll never hear a cuss word out of him. But one of the most enthusiastic quarterbacks to ever play the game. And Philip Rivers, like when his name was brought up the other day for working out with the Colts, let alone signing, that was a meme. Everybody brought all the aura back up. But when you look back, stripping back statistically, you're looking at one of the grittiest, toughest quarterbacks. Captain comeback here. One of the most grittiest quarterbacks of all time, and he gets pushed under the rug, and his numbers are comparable with some of the big-time quarterbacks out there. Of course, you got to adjust for eras like everything else. But you're looking at a Phillip Rivers here that everybody's got to root for.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked.
Skeptical?
I can't imagine he's going there. Of course I'm skeptical.
Yeah, how
no,
can you
I
not
don't
be,
want to be
right?
disrespectful to a guy that's going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
He's not going there to ride the pine.
Everybody's got to root for granddad Phillip Rivers. The dude has 10 kids. Oldest is older than Tyler Warren. He's going to be slinging rockets. He's a grandpa. His grandson is about the same age as his youngest son. So that's another interesting thing to look at there because they're going to be playing football together. So I don't even know how that's going to look like. He's got a kid that's, I think, is a 4-star recruit in a 2027 recruiting class. Like, you're looking at this and like nothing but aura. His wife's a college athlete, homeschooled all his kids, and dad, Phillip Rivers, slinging rockets on Sundays. And we need to get behind Phillip Rivers because this is going to be one of the few times he's the second granddad ever since Brett Favre to suit up and play quarterback. The second granddad ever. We have to get behind granddads playing in the NFL because it is something America needs. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.